the class tier list is not just based on damage. It's actually based upon the whole package in terms of what utility they bring, what damage bring to the party, what kind of players I see. So it's also based on skill that the players bring with this class on the latest content. And also at the same time, what I told these two guys are going to help me is the next end content when it comes out is going to be a race too, correct? So the question would be things like at the next raid content, if this class comes out, like what would you tier it on in terms of like where is it going to be? And this is the number based upon at least 10 times, like because I play with every single class at least 10 times. I brought two guests here because I didn't want it to say it myself because I'm not 100% sure. So we have Jiudau first. Jiudau, you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Hello, it's G.
So Jiudau, would you like to tell chat what is your experience so far in Lost Ark, like in terms of content?
I'm actually clearing 4 Gate 4 Thaemines every single 2 weeks.
Okay.
Every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Most of the time, I usually get the Cruel Fighter or the Underbar Upright Fighter. I have been playing against most of the classes, I mean all of the classes in Lost Ark, and we're gonna make a tier list about, not based on DPS, it also includes stagger, mobility, those kind of stuff. So hope you guys don't misunderstand about that class is not F tier, but why is it on F tier like that?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So
G is much more skilled than I am in terms of playing DPS because I always play like supports and all that stuff. So there's that one. And we have the next person. We have Haerang, right? So Haerang played with me on Thaemine the first race. We were the 15th player. She was in our team. She was the Glaivier. And I brought her to this particular session because she played at Gate 4 a lot too. So I'm gonna ask her to introduce herself.
ATK시랑 같이 이제 더 버스트 나이도 처음에 클리어했던 베레랑이라고 합니다.
Let's start with the warriors, okay? Berserker
Sure.
technique. What do you think, Jiudau?
actually, I was playing against the Zerk Technique 1655 SR8, who's called Vinny. He has recently changed his build, Mayhem 2 BT, and he's been playing with me. Last week, it was our last run with the statics, and I was running the Predator Slayer with SR8 1655. He was running with BT. One of our teammates, a scouter, died at Gate 5. On our team, it was only 3 players, and Vinny had all 4 players, and we cleared it, and he got the underbar Crew Fighter. But the thing is, I haven't been losing a Crew Fighter underbar at all for a month. But right after I died, he got the underbar Crew Fighter. So what I'm thinking was we had 1655 Glaivier in that party. We had 1650 Sharpshooter. We had 1655 Gunlancer, but that's not important though. So BT Zerk could be actually stronger than the Glaivier, the Pinnacle Glaivier at the moment.
Ooh, okay.
So we all think the Pinnacle Glaivier is around A or B. On BT is actually on the A tier.
Okay. Then what about Mayhem?
Mayhem should be on B tier because the actual performance is almost the same, but the damage, I think BT is actually a bit better than Mayhem.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's also ask Haerang too.
아무래도 비기 A 티어까지는 이해가 가능한 부분이거든요. 하지만 광기 B 티어는 약간 이해가 불가능하지 않나. 이 신속 캐릭터들이 약간 더 훨씬 유리하고 특화 캐릭터들 같은 경우에는 좀 많이 티어가 떨어지거든요. 무르카도 해야 되고 아무래도 맞딜보다는 피하고 때리고 이게 중요하다 보니까 심지어 광기 같은 경우에는 비기 같은 경우에는 광기에 비해서 특출난 이게 개성도 약간 모자라고 그러다 보니까 이 좀 더 광기하지 누가 비기하나 이런 느낌이 좀 있지 않나. 그런 의미에서 좀 더 뭐 C나 F까지 내려가도 된다고 보거든요.
So Jiudau, so he says BT is Super Saiyan. In terms of damage, it does beat Mayhem, right? However, if you're considering all the utility plus the move, this is when you say utility, this is including movement, and then you guys know BT is a full spec class, so it could be a little bit slower. So when you go with Thaemine Gate 4, where utility is a little bit more important because one mistake can actually kill you. With all those things in combined, usually there's like a Swift classes that does decent amount of damage is pretty much on the more important end in terms of are you gonna clear the raid or not, right? Instead of like who's gonna get crow fighter, who's gonna get all that thing. So since you value survivability plus playing easy and doing the enough DPS to actually clear the raid is much higher, she wanted to place BT a little lower, right? Because if you have a BT player versus like a Mayhem player, and then since BT has a higher chance to, like, let's say particularly die from a certain pattern because you're a little bit slower, you might want to lower the terms of tier a little bit down.
So this tier list is based on the overall performance on the DPS.
Overall performance, and then in your party. So if
in
it's
that case, actually, I want to change with Mayhem and BT. Then Mayhem will be B and the BT will be C.
the stuff that I teach my chat is way different than what other people's teach, because I don't value DPS that much. I don't value like underline that much.
Yeah, it's all about gatekeeping.
It's about how
about
much yeah, it's about how much your class brings to the table, and then you have no problem doing procs with. Yeah.
True.
Survivability is more important. Let's say you're doing a Thaemine first race, right? I don't think you would consider only DPS. My DPS is based on that from playing with bunch of different classes at Gate 4. For those of you guys who are listening in after like the edit on YouTube, we're gonna keep mentioning this because they're gonna get confused, because like a lot of people care about DPS, because when you get into the homework party, DPS is the only thing that they care about, right? I mean, which is true, but mine's more based off of like how much value you bring to the table. So Jiudau, you play Slayer, I play Sir as well. I wanted to switch to Predator one day, but I tend to like Punisher a little bit, in terms of play style. What do you think about these two classes?
I think all of you guys might know that Predator is actually better than Executionist.
Of
I mean,
course.
the Punisher
Yes.
overall.
Yes.
But what we're missing is Executionist has a pretty good damage in the actual raid, as same as Predator, but it's slightly lower. So I want to put Slayer to its overall performance, right? I want to put Slayer to S, Punisher to B.
Punisher to B.
And that is my main.
포식자.
That is my S8 main, bro. That is my main. I'm just being honest.
What Haerang was saying is execution should be a little lower maybe, but Jiudau plays with a really good Punisher Slayer, and then she gets the underlined DPS within the first difficulty in Thaemine. What about against Mayhem?
We're
Same
thinking about
value
the
to the
mobility
table.
And yeah.
If you think about
And
the
the
mobility,
stagger.
right?
The problem
Mobility
is
stagger.
Punisher should be locking his skill or the meter. You mean the identity, the Z, when
Yep.
doing the stagger in Gate
When
4.
stagger, yep.
She's actually losing a huge amount of damage by using Z in the stagger phase. And we have to consider about that because high swiftness class without using identity can actually DPS all the time without losing anything, and also can stagger by running skills that has lower cooldowns. But the Punisher has to lock down their skills and able to do the stagger or some mechanics. So
Okay. It's better on
yeah, that makes
phases.
the Punisher big
Where
tier,
they
not
can
the
condense more stuff and it adds up, chat. That would be the explanation that Jiu's trying to say. What about destroyers?
나 중수를 안 해봐서 잘은 모르겠는데 그냥 좀 보는 걸로는 이게 좀 활약하기 힘들지 않을까 싶어요.
Okay.
I have no idea about the gravity training.
Okay. So
Never seen a player using that in Gate 4. Never seen.
인정합니다.
So here's what I think then. Here's what I think. I played with a gravity training. This Gate 3 with Saint. Gate 4, I've also played with gravity training. If I was doing the first with the race with the gravity training, I would not play with them.
트라이 기준으로는 F지.
Yeah.
For like, let's say you do a race with a gravity training destroyer, I would say I would not play with them, but it's still not F though.
근데 누군가는 F에 들어가야 되잖아. 누군가는 들어가야 된다면 그 자리가 중수가 아닐까요?
So I added it E because it's not an F level, but maybe right above. It would be a class that we will not take on the next content. Next content, will you take this guy for the race? For the tries? Prog? Okay, let's put it D or E for now. You don't need to talk too much into it. What about Rage Hammer? B?
Probably B, or I mean C or B.
난 A나 B 쪽으로 봐요. 오히려.
Oh, A or B for Haerang and
Yep.
BC for Jiudau.
잘 치는 사람들 진짜 세더라고 분명.
To wrap it up a bit, the reason why I want to give, which I agree on this section, is I played and the clears that I did for hard mode is Rage Hammer, and one of them is Benji, right? And Rage Hammer is actually really good because remember what I told Benji, you guys, was at gate 4, hey, can you just do Earth Eater and then just do the stagger synergy? We finished the stagger in like 2 patterns, and that value itself is actually really good. It's not just damage, but like it increases the clear rate immensely, right? So I do want to apply such higher point on the certain class. The better you are, you bring more to the table. Plus the utility that the class particularly brings nowadays is much higher comparable to other classes. What about your main? Haerang's main, Glaivier.
같은 경우에는 이제 이 티어를 나눌 때 딜도 딜인데 그 딜을 이 센 캐릭터가 딜을 넣기까지 얼마나 쾌적했는가 이것도 약간 중요하다고 보거든요. 그런 관점에서 포식자는 충분히 쾌적하고요. 절정 창술수와도 사지랑 홀딩 같은 게 좀 많긴 한데 금방금방 되니까 나름 쾌적하긴 한데 그래도 포식자까지는 아니지 않나. 저는 절정 A 클래스까지는 인정합니다.
아 A. 근데 여기 같이 가고 싶지 않다.
그건 좀
No?
너프 전이었으면 인정인데.
Before nerf.
I think exactly the same. It's not better than Slayer overall.
Okay.
And it should be on A or B, but
시너지가
whatever
좋아서.
the main says.
시너지가 좋아 시너지가.
Yeah.
The reason why it's not B, because she brings way too much to the table. She's like 육각형 딜러, the hexagon DPS.
딜만 보면은 BC도 가능하거든요 절정이. 근데 이 상시 카운터 엄청 중요한 부분이잖아요. 상시 카운터가 가능하고 이동기도 이제 뭐 2개, 3개까지 채용이 가능하고.
Right.
무엇보다 시너지가 이제 제일 좋잖아 딜러들 중에.
Yeah, if this was like a DPS tier list, Predator should go down to like A or B too. Same.
If it's a deep, yeah. She brings way too much to the table, I think. Having a counter up all the time is actually really valuable in a prog raid, especially because having a counter, like countering the boss, is actually super important these days. And as the content gets harder on the down road, if you miss a counter, you get punished severely.
절제 같은 경우에는 무로카도 좋고 극신속 캐릭터보다 보니까 이 직발, 그러니까 아까 말했다시피 절정은 홀딩 스킬만 홀딩 스킬 2개, 차징 스킬 1개 이 정도다 보니까 좀 스킬 하나하나 사용하는데 시간이 좀 걸려요. 모션도 크고. 그러다 보니 그런 거 싫어하는 사람들은 절제 좋아하더라고요. 절제는 충분히 메리트 있는 캐릭터예요.
Next one would be Wardancer. What do you think, Jiudau?
Wardancer, based on the overall performance, I mean, First Intense has a slightly better, overall performance, including the utility, than the ESO. But ESO actually has stronger, higher ceiling than the First Intense. So they both might be in the same tier if it's a performance based on. This is really hard. They could be A or B.
Yeah. So here's what I think. I play with both of them. I like FI better because they died less. That's like my only reason I like FI better. And FI's rotation in terms of the party benefits is much higher too. I want to give like a better thumbs up for FI, but some people may find FI boring. But where do you think FI would be in terms of the whole tier list, Jiudau?
Probably B. The top of P, yeah.
And the SO would be the same?
SO would be the last of A.
Because they bring more damage to the table, right?
I mean the ceiling, including the ceiling.
Including the ceiling, right? Well, it's compound.
And the stagger is pretty decent on the.
Oh yeah, stagger's good too. Yeah. Wardancer is always welcome to the party, chat, because of the synergy that brings to the whole party, right? Like FI kind of feels like a little bit missing from SO, but the easiness of FI itself it's like it brings much more value to the table, as if this being like a swiftness class as well. Let's say a raid that you don't know what's gonna happen. These are like definitely the safe pick for party mates. What about these two? I know this one for sure. Tai is way better than Shock. I think Tai is really good right now because they can also adjust skills. they have destruction. They have good stagger. I wouldn't know where to put in, but I mean, I'm thinking Thai like here.
I played both Titans.
Yeah, you
Thai
you actually play it. So I want your opinion on this because everyone I
Well, there's
meet
a
they
big-
switch.
I think Thai should be on tier S or A. I want to put it to A, considering the stagger. And the shock
Mm,
should be on A.
like this.
Yeah.
So you think this is not here? The same group that's same here?
F까지는
That could
아니지.
be like top of A, but
The top of A?
It's still better than those three classes. Yeah.
Better than these three. I mean, you play both.
Yeah, I played.
Yeah,
both.
you actually play both. In
After
Thaemine
the
Gate 4.
Yeah, after the patch. Yeah.
If I ever see Thai for the Gate 4, I take them immediately. They don't disappoint you at all as a teammate.
It's really hard to die with Thai because it has a best. It's the tankiest of all DPS classes.
Mm.
It's
Yep.
2.1. I mean
2.1.
2.2, I guess.
2.2ish. Yeah, they're like I never seen them. I actually never seen them that their counters are good too. So they never mess up on the sword mech
Right.
for Thaemine Gate 4. Like they just bring all this good stuff. Next, let's move on. What about these two guys, the Soulfists?
세맥은 세지. 근데 스네이는 세맥이 좀 더 좋다고 봐요.
Yeah.
100% agree.
Yeah, EO is way better than RS. It's because the raid formation in Thaemine. But where do you think this would be in?
Difficulty is much higher. S on
Here?
the rope. Yeah, S on the overflow. A on the robust.
This class is difficult. For those of you who played EO, you will know why this class is difficult. Because you are smudge if you transform at the wrong time. So you need knowledge in the raid. This particular class can be S, as you said, if someone is really good with it. For consistency's sake, you can't really put in the same category because of the difficulty of the class, right? Because when you play with the pug, how do you know if he's a good player or not? But if you have a friend who's in a static, like who's really good at as if they both say it was like it would be an A, and then you would say robust at B.
만약에 내가
No,
공대장인데
robust at A too. I think it has.
But where would it be in terms of like the side category? Right
Almost
under.
almost same as Glaivier though. I mean, it could be a little bit better or almost the same.
BC급이라고 봐요.
BC.
저는.
Robust?
이 내가 공대장인데 진짜
어.
잘하는 세맥이 있어. 그리고 진짜 잘하는 이
역전.
인파이터 혹은
인파이터.
뭐 절정 오이가 있다 쳐봐요. 그러면은 진짜 잘하는 세맥을 데리고 가거든. 진짜 잘하는 포식이나. 그래갖고 저는
그치.
만약에 진짜 잘한다면 세맥 그 S 나는 충분히 그 줄만하다 봐.
근데
세맥이랑 역천이 같은 급은 아니야.
근데
그러니까.
처단자를 데려가는 것보다는 차라리 역천이 나.
그러면 이렇게
그것도
가겠네요.
맞아. 그것도 맞아.
그리고 광기보다도 역천이 나. 초심보다도
그렇게
역천이 나.
그렇게 치면
나
비트도 낫긴
같으면
해.
역천을 애매한 포지션.
근데 역천이
역천을
충단보다?
기우머리로 놓고 세맥을 그 S 끝자락으로 놓는 게 맞지 않나?
오케이, I agree. I agree.
이렇게.
아니.
역전 아니 A
B,
끝자락도
B.
되고 B 제일 앞쪽도
그것도
되고.
돼. 그것도 되긴 해.
네, 뭐
B 끝자락이나 B 처음이나 A 끝자락.
Robust could be better than Shock Scrapper though. It's my thought.
Okay. Jiudau's personal thoughts.
오케이.
So here's a little bit of problem here, because there's so many categories to consider when you're making a tier list, right? And this is like situational when the player is really good, but what if the player is really bad, right? So if you're putting that into consideration, Predator needs to go up a little more, because if you're putting into the player's skills. But for now, we can finesse the adjustments afterwards. But we're going to place it in this case. What about Striker?
I have never seen a striker getting under bar gate 4.
I did not want you to say that, but it's actually true.
Wait, Mint got under bar in that party?
But that's Mint.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, so yeah, but she's Mint. She played Striker since Striker came out. This is why skill is the best thing that you need to think about, chat. Mint is built different.
She should be though around B.
Death Strike?
Not better than first. Almost same as First Intense, but it's.
I would say
still
so.
better than Mayhem.
Yeah.
It's still better than Mayhem. Yeah, I would take the Strike instead of Mayhem.
That does sound correct. So Striker, I always see them die at the 87 mechanic and G4.
아니, 근데 스트라이커는
Because
세월하기 때문에 기믹 카운터도 안 쳐.
So because of the Lazaniev card as well, they never counter properly. And even if they do counter, their counter doesn't have paralysis immune. Honestly, I would put it like right here.
그래도 뭐 C까지는 아니까 데미지는 세서.
C까지는 아니야. It's not like C because their DPS is decent, and it's also there's so much variable in the player too.
나 진짜 둘이 비슷비슷하다 보는데 그냥.
Yeah, I think they're the
almost
same.
the same.
Yeah, they're literally the same. I wish I could put them in the vertical,
I want to put ESO higher than.
but
the strike.
Deathblow, yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
would
a
do.
little bit higher.
Yeah. Scouter,
비슷하죠?
machinist.
Scouter.
유산 높게 평가하는데 SAB는 아니야.
Yeah,
So-
그건 아니야.
So
Right, right.
I like Evolution Scouter, but I don't put these guys. I don't put them here. I wouldn't put them there.
Yeah.
난 유산스카 좀 낮게 보면은 D까지도 가능하다고 봐.
Oh yeah. This is possible. Yeah, D is
Yeah.
possible for EO.
We would
EV. Yeah.
rather take the
I would rather take
the
any of these guys than
AT,
this.
yeah, instead of evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in terms of survivability, Scouter is pretty high as well. Like they never die. Yeah, it's actually really difficult to die as a Scouter. I've never seen them die, and they always do the necessary things that is required in the raid. Like let's say a counter, stagger, like all that stuff.
C끝 자락? 인정.
이 글자라. 네.
C끝 자락.
Like the end of C. What do you think about AT though? I'm pretty sure AT is pretty good.
기술 같은 경우에는 카운터
기술,
좋지, 이동기 있지.
이동기 있지. 되게 좋아요
무력화
생각보다.
좋지.
무력화도
저는
좋아.
좋다고 봐. 이거를 B 머리 쪽에서까지도 가능하다고 봐요.
Around
It
here.
is definitely
감동.
better than first intense. It's my thought.
Oh, that's what I think too.
초심보다 좋은 거 같긴 해요, 무조건.
그
그거는
정도도
확실한데.
그 정도도 놓을 수 있어 나도.
어.
B 머리까지 인정.
근데 한 여기까진? So generally, when a tier list comes to this point, you kind of compare it to other players, right? As in like other classes, where like, hey, I play with these guys. It seems like there's a little bit there, and then you kind of go back and forth after you kind of choose a ballpark for it, right? And obviously, AT is really good. They have mobility. They have the two rolls. They have good stagger. Their counter is good. They actually have two counters. For those of you not know, you can transform and press R. That's what Saint does. You guys seen Saint do that all the time. You're tanky. You're tanky as hell. You can like survive all that stuff together, and you have freedom of doing hitmaster damage, right? So with all those parts combined, you have to value this class pretty high compared to the transformation alternative. Okay, what do you think about these two guys, Barrage and FE?
Barrage A.
But where though?
Right before the tie. Right under.
It's so strong.
근데 확실히 포항이 절정 창술보다는 세긴 했어요. 만나봤던 포항들 대부분이 절정보다 세긴 했어.
It's stronger. It's definitely strong.
상관문처럼 사멸차적인 관문 아니고서는 포항이 좀 더 세긴 해.
Just like, let's say, imagine if it's Gate 3. Gate 3 Thaemine is so good for entropy class because he literally just stands still the whole time and almost every single pattern, right? Even if that is the case, like the freedom for the barrage itself, they can dish out their maximum DPS so fast. So they can just sit and then get their buffs and then just dish out everything that they need, and then they just gather energy again. They just do that again. Still, their image is pretty bad from the Thaemine the first, because my image was pretty bad for the particular class because I played with them a lot.
그건 좀 약하지.
A little
좀
weak side.
떨어지는데도 시간 또 걸리다 보니까.
FE?
You want this E?
이?
No, firepower?
Yeah, firepower.
D. I want to put D.
이.
D?
근데 생각해보니까 절제 관기 유산이면은 C도 올만하긴 한데 생각보다 세 저것도.
Oh,
생각보다
it's
세.
strong. FE is SE is more
나쁘진
stronger than
않은데.
you think. The player needs to be good though. This is so specific because basically only Lust Boy played this.
유산 화강 유산이면 나는 유산을 데려가긴 하는데.
나도 유산이 좀 더 걸리긴 해. 그러니까 왜 유산 그러니까 화가한 사람들 보면 왜 포항을 안 하지 포항 센데 이런 느낌이 종종 들긴 해가지고.
There's not enough data, so there's only like Lust Boy that I know, and I know this class is pretty good, but most of the meta shifted towards Barrage because Barrage is actually really good. Stagger, his value is not him doing a lot of stagger, it's his stagger synergy because he has a stagger synergy.
If you take stagger synergy, you have to.
Yeah, you also exactly. But Barrage can take that and then won't really lose as much. That's why Barrage is really good right now.
아 이것도 어려워요.
This is hard. Yeah. Handgunner, I would say the floor is a little higher. Handgunner is super fun. There's a fun level. So if this was a fun tier list, this would be here. If you're going for that sweaty hardcore raid style, you would have to play EW.
예전에 개편 한번 받았잖아요. 이제 데뷔런터가 개편 받기 전이었으면은 핸드거너 E, 다음은 C 이렇게 줬을 텐데.
So this would be the old one. Yeah.
받은 후에는 조금 올라갔거든요. 근데 그게.
So after the change.
강무도 B 정도까진 갈만하지 않나.
강무 B에서 약간 처단 위에 근데 광기 아래.
그렇지.
I would put the bottom of B or the top.
Yeah,
of C.
that's what I thought too. But it feels like
엄청 쉬워요.
so the difficulty of handgunner is so easy, and then you're so
보이지야.
like your performance is so good. Like you're so reliable as a teammate. So I want to put it higher than striker, but you can put it here.
I think we might want to delete the D section and we just put the gravity to D and take away the E because I don't think there's gonna be a lot of classes under there.
Oh no, it's okay. We'll put it for now. We can organize it later. I would put this a little above striker, but I trust my striker players in my chat to be really good like Mint because all my chat learned from Mint. Sharpshooter, what do you think, Jiudau?
Low companion is not better than this strike overall. So if I could, I would put this strike to the last of A tier, and I want to put the loyal companion to last of B, but it's higher than. Oh wait, we can put it last. But it's better than the handgunner.
Like Sharpshooter, they're eating good these days.
제가 호카이를 만나면서 느낀 점 한 줄 요약 가능하거든요. 이 녀석들이 잔열은 잘 따는데 밑줄을 못 따요. 잔열은 진짜 잘 따. 근데 밑줄은 아니야. 그런 느낌.
This Death Strike above these classes kind of feels weird, doesn't it? For me, I want to put it here because I kind of do agree because it's a Hitmaster class.
Okay, that's reasonable.
I value Hitmaster more than Entropy classes, especially when the raid is new.
But in that case, we gotta put the AT scrapper
like that.
in front of the
Yeah.
scrapper too.
This is what I was thinking. This is what I want to make a change to. So I think Sharpshooter also in a very good spot. We have a big topic. We have Gunslinger.
스마기가 관심을 많이 안 가져줘요.
So what she think about biggest problem with Gunslinger is Smage is not giving them enough attention. So Jiudau, you have a Gunslinger too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it too. Haerang 씨 있으세요?
예.
Haerang has it too. Haerang has Gunslinger as well. We all have it. I mean, there's a lot of Gunslingers actually.
일단 둘 중 뭐가 더 좋냐를 따져보자면은 이제 사시에서 피메를 같이 쓰는 트리가 나와가지고 그게 좀 더 세다는 결론이 나왔잖아요. 그래갖고 사시 일단 둘 중에서 티어를 좀 높여야 되지 않나.
Within these two chat, if you guys are wondering, TTH is better than PM right now with the double class engraving. In terms of the full package, isn't the compression? Well, I guess the utility wise, PM is a little better because of the shotgun stagger, but the weight of what makes it better is kind of minuscule.
Based on the stagger, Peacemaker is always better than times.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
PTS, but I don't know if those two have that much DPS gap.
I mean, I don't know if Time to Hunt is way stronger than Peacemaker. It's just
It's not like way stronger. Yeah. It's not way stronger. It's more like because of the compression. Higher compression, it's like, let's say I play a score of 6 in terms of like skill. The score of 6 on TTH is way higher than score of 6 on PM. That's what I would say.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's so much easier to land all the rifle skills within like, let's say 5 seconds when, let's say before Thaemine does a big move and then he dashes away, you can land all that. But what PM's problem is you know the shotgun thing, the sharpshooter, right? That takes forever. Like it just dashes away. So because of that, you have a little bit more value on TTH.
If we could take Time to Hunt or Peacemaker, I would rather take any of tier Bs.
True. So if I translate what Jiudau and Haerang was saying was, if a PM or TTH apply, you will take any of these guys.
True.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason. The reason why gunslingers get gatekept all the time in G4, you take 2 Glaiviers, but you don't take 2 gunslingers. And I know why too. It's because they're so fragile and they don't actually deliver as much, and they need to be good too. So there's 3 things that need to be matching in order for you to clear the raid. There's a big question mark. Can I clear with this guy? So I'm not a good example for a good gunslinger play, okay? There's a reason I don't play G4 with gunslinger even though I can. But gunslinger is in a rough spot.
아르카나. 아르카나는 좀 어려운데.
My old main.
Arcana.
논란이 있는데 아르카나는.
Arcana 논란. Yeah, Arcana has a lot of problems. This class is very. It's super janky. This class is like, I can see the lowest of the low and the highest of the high. Since Arcana is well played by Jiudau, right? Was his main. What do you think about this class, and where do you think this class belongs to?
If this is only including the Gate 4 Thaemine,
Yeah.
I would put Emperor Arcana as high as AT Scouter.
Oh,
If it's
here?
only about the Gate 4. It's
Only
not
gate
on
4?
damage.
So that makes sense because gate 4, the dude stands still a long time. So your evoke can land the whole time, right?
I mean, those 2 class engraving, Empress and Emperor, have a lot of DPS gap.
Hmm.
Emperor actually has lower damage than, I mean, almost same damage as Gunslinger. Only
Empress?
based on the damage. Yeah, I mean the Emperor. Emperor has almost the same damage as Peacemaker.
Mm-hmm.
It is not stronger than the other classes on S tier.
Hmm.
It could be almost the same as the Handgunner or the Little Companion, but only based on damage. It's not one of the good class. But we have to think about the overall performance. So I want to put
overall
it to A tier.
performance.
It is weaker than the AT Scouter, so I want to put it under the AT Scouter. Yeah.
I value evoke a lot on the gate 5 210 stagger.
Yeah. That's right.
So he can rotate a lot of evoke. And this is for chat. You guys remember the big stagger mechanic on 210 and gate 5 with the little hands and everything? Emperor Arcana can just put the evoke down because he's in the center doing this, right? So there's that value too, big values. And Emperor also got great counter as well. Yep.
I want to put it higher than Shock Scrapper.
Oh, these 2 right here. Now this is not based on your skill, Jiudau.
No, it should be based on the higher ceiling, so it should be based on me.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, yeah, it'd be like in a skill player 1 to 10.
I mean, it's based on Gate 4, right? So
Gate 4
stagger
and
is not really good.
and the potential new raids coming out too.
Yeah, the stagger is not really good, and also the counter is not really good because we might use it sometimes on the DPS, and also the utility is not that good. I want to put her right under the first intense. The damage, it's like one of the highest class.
Oh, of course. Damage is
I
one
mean,
of the
not
highest
stronger
class.
than
Yeah.
But we got a concern about the overall performance, so she's
Overall
probably gonna
performance,
be
yep.
under the first intense.
Okay. So as if Haerang also said, if you're doing a Kazaros prog, you would take FI instead of Empress. What about Mr. Saint Tony's class?
하하.
Secondary class, the Sorc. My gate 3 clear, my first gate 3 clear ever, Jiudau, was with Mad Life. Mad Life's Ignition Sorc.
He's a different level.
Yeah, and even if Mad Life having issues with this class, Mad Life, when he was playing Gate 4 with me, like trying a little bit, all I hear him was sigh, like the whole time.
Do you know why? Because they only have like 1 or 2 second gap between before they drop the second Doomsday.
Yeah,
But if the boss moves, they just lose 30% of their whole cycle damage.
exactly.
I'm gonna put her to D. But that's true. That's true. I mean, really, honestly, it's true.
I mean, I can't. Okay, look, I can't agree with you more than this. Actually,
Every single sorceress player will say the same thing.
dude, Sorc is in a real bad spot for G4, G5, G6 right now. They're actually.
Why would you take sorceress instead of the other class that has decent damage with a better stagger with the
With the better stagger,
mechanics.
better mechanics, better
They
utility.
don't fucking even. Oh, I'm sorry about the word. They don't even take the counter.
They don't even take. No,
존재이 뭐야 이씨.
Jiudau, stop.
Disagree with this list.
Zane Tone said, "I disagree with this list. Please move sorcerers down one tier." Wait, down one tier.
I think she's probably gonna
Here?
be F. Yeah, let's put her F. She needs a remake, but that's my honest opinion. It's not. I'm not joking. She needs the remake. She's D because she has a pretty decent damage, but that's all. That's all she has. So it's like a girl who has a beautiful face, but that's all.
Oh, okay.
Has a
I see.
Bad mind.
I
bad
see.
behavior,
I
that's
see.
something
I
like-
see.
Yeah.
I see. I see.
Oh,
I
it's,
see.
I'm not saying sorcerers have bad behaviors. I'm just making an example.
What about reflux?
Reflux? You know what? Let's put both of them to D.
D?
Her damage sucks. And she's squishy. Her damage sucks. The stagger is not that good compared to other classes like evolutionary or some.
Oh my god. When you have ignition and then when you have reflux, right? So the issue about reflux is when you're, I mean, I kind of agree in the same boat because I play with a lot of Sorcs in G4. When you gotta take reflux, you would rather take ignition for the burst potential, and some igniter players are really good too. So there's that on top of it. So reflux, it kind of feels like there really is no like a benefactor compared to ignition.
She doesn't have much better stagger than the igniter. Almost the same because they usually run a full crit these days with the reflex. So the skill cooldown should be almost the same.
Summoner. What do you guys think about the summoner class? You play summoner, Jiudau, right? You have one. What do you think?
I think summoner is playable since I'm playing master summoner. She is playable, and I did not find any difficulty in gate 4.
But is that because you're Jiudau, or is it because the class is?
It's not that hard, I think. I mean, if I feel the master summoner is like a tough class, I wouldn't recommend it. But she is playable, and also she has a pretty good stagger in 210 bars with the Jahia.
Of course, yeah. With Jahia, yeah.
And some ancient spear,
Yeah.
those kind of stuff.
Summoner is, they bring such good utility, right? But it requires so much from the player. So I don't want to give too high of a tier. Like
상소 같은 경우에는 포강이랑 비빈다고 봅니다.
포강이 여기요?
아, 그 정도는 아니에요. 그 정도는 아니에요.
그 정도는 아니에요. 난
내가
아닌 것
진짜
같아.
잘하는 서머너를 알고 있거든요.
So Haerang knows. So Haerang knows a master summoner player that's really good that always plays G4 Thaemine. Counter kind of sucks. Like she kind of dies at the sword bank.
역천보단 좋다고 봐.
Oh, over here.
역천을 오히려 좀 내려야 되지 않나 싶기도 하고.
역천이요.
비슷한 것 같아요.
Here? So better than all of these? 여기 위에보다 다
I think
좋다고?
it should be around
상소는 그것보다 좋아.
it should be under the death strike. Higher than AT. I think those two are almost the same. I want to put it as same as AT.
What about Emperor?
Emperor? Both masters, both summoner and the master summoner and emperor has pretty decent stagger. The emperor has better stagger, but she has lower damage. That's the reason I want to put master in front of the emperor, but lower than some other classes.
조금 아쉽긴 해도 만족은 할 수 있는 자리인 것 같아요.
Ah, what do you think,
난
Jiudau?
역천은 그렇게 막 엄청 좋다고는 안 봐. 그러니까 A 아까 전에 놓을 때 그 자리밖에 없어 거기였지.
Right. We
역천은
placed
떨어지지
it. Yeah, we
않아.
placed RS as temporary here.
나 역천 진짜 해보는 입장으로서 뭐 그 정도.
Oh, you played. Oh, so Haerang played RS. Okay, let's talk to communication summoner. What do you think?
Communication, pretty sure she's one of the C's, but I can't actually make a order about that. It's pretty hard.
It's pretty hard, right?
Yeah.
But it's definitely better than the state of Sorcs, right?
Yes. 100%.
There you go. What do you
Yes.
think about Communication Summoner compared to the Evolution Scouter? Would you take a Summoner or the Evolution Scouter if you're doing like a Kazaros raid?
어렵네요 이거.
It's hard. It's hard. They're pretty much the same.
그쯤 놓으면 될 것
응,
같아요.
응. C가 일단 다 그 약간 C 이하는 버프가 필요한 느낌이라 가지고 한 이 정도면은 다.
근데 상향까지는 필요하진 않을 것 같은데 저 캐릭터가 그래도. 아 이건 좀 애매하긴 하네요.
그러면은
상향이 필요 없다고?
피메보다 아래면은 사실 피메가 상향이 없다고 말하는 거 비슷하긴 함.
피메보다 아래는 아니에요. 피메보단 좋아요.
Of course.
그러면은 B 끝자로 놔야 되는 거 아니야?
그러니까 그럼 여기 나야
그래도
되는 거지.
괜찮을 것 같아요. B 끝자락이 훨씬 더 깔끔할 것 같아요.
이 깔끔하다
The
그러면.
end of B. Jiudau, you want to pick?
스페셜리스트.
Oh, specialist?
Specialist
Okay, there's only 2 classes. When I play with Aeromancer for G4 every time, I've never found them have issues. I always had the feeling that the raid was slower. But they never die. They counter everything. They give good synergy, 100% uptime. But I don't know what else to say from that because I think this Wind Fury is a really good class. But I think it's good at everything except damage. My honest opinion about Aeromancer after playing with them is they're really good players. They never die. The time is slower, as in like the finishing gate 4 is slower, whatever. But that doesn't hinder the clear rate because clear rate means if all 8 players are alive, you're supposed to clear gate 4, 5, 6. I don't know where I would put her. Yeah, I honestly don't know actually because I do I do value utility and not dying and providing a good thing for the team. But let's say a Kazaros raid happens, I would take any of these guys instead of Aeromancer.
I would take Evolutionary instead of Wind Fury. I want to put her lower than
The evolution.
yeah.
The thing is, I might agree with you with that, but I like the synergy.
Would you take Peacemaker or Wind Fury?
Now that's a tough question.
Yeah, but that's why they're on the same tier, I think.
Now that's a tough question because I've seen Wind Fury die less than Peacemaker.
I see.
Yeah. I value average players not dying more than like let's say a certain class does more damage, but damage means nothing when you're dead on the floor.
That's true.
Yeah. And they kind of provide the same crit synergy. I mean, I would kind of put it here. That's why it's like a weird thing because I play with so many Aeromancers in G4 and they have no problem. I have no problem accepting them. I want to play with them. I have no issues with them. They don't cause any problems. Compared to like let's say a Gunslinger, right? Gunslinger has a lot of problems. I can't put them there. I can't put them here. It's impossible.
난 절제압회 정도?
Oh,
C-
like
C
maybe like here. What do you think about Drizzle though?
Does Drizzle have a better stagger than Peacemaker? I think they both have almost the same stagger, right?
Oh, Drizzle's better. This class is so consistent, and that's all it's good. That's all it's good for. It's an ultimate cute save class. But I don't know which is better because I just see them and they're all like about the same.
Damage wise, Drizzle is actually better than Fury, but I don't know, those two are almost the same, I think.
Yeah, they're
Can't
yeah.
compare those two. Yeah, really hard.
이슬비는 내가 키워봤는데요. 키우고
네.
있는 중인데
네.
약간 보스가 되게 좀 가만히 있는 보스들한테는 데미지 잘 나오거든요. 좀만 움직인 애들 상대로는 아예 그냥 비교 안 돼 뚝 떨어져 버리는 편이라고 약간 애매하네.
Thaemine G3, 4, 5, those guys kind of stand still a lot, and their patterns are very, very long and very easy to distinguish them. Like it's much easier. But if you put it in count of utility, based on how many drizzles I see, how many Wind Furies I see, I think Wind Fury is a little. It's like very tiny bit, like but they're like literally side on side. So it would be more of a playstyle difference. Which people would consider. Assassin. I'm gonna leave this to you, Jiudau, because I have a lot of things to say, but I need your help.
Thirst Reaper lower than Predator, but higher than Overflow EO.
So Reaper right now, so this is what I think. Thirst Reaper, I think if you invest, the more time you invest getting better at Thirst Reaper, you will get paid for sure. I think that's the only rough part about Thirst Reaper. It's hard to play. And then people think, oh, Thirst Reaper is easy to play. But the thing is, if you play Thirst Reaper on G4, they're like all over the place. I don't know how they do it. Like I will never touch this class because I know I'm gonna be bad at it. If you're a Thirst Reaper player out there, You keep that class if you like playing that class. You just keep getting better at it.
She has a good She has a decent stagger, really good stagger.
Mm-hmm.
Her mobility is insane.
Insane,
we all know
yeah.
about that. Yeah.
Insane
Her
counter.
damage her damage is also really good.
Mm-hmm.
I have nothing to say about that.
Good condensed
It's just
damage.
굿 카운터.
Good counter.
The counter is just it's also really good.
The only counter that can be countered from the back. That's a big plus in this particular tier list because we're not talking about just damage. We're talking about the
Yeah.
full package. Okay, so Thirst, we talked about it. What about Lunar Reaper?
I would place Lunar Reaper in the same place.
As Death Strike. I mean Death Blow.
Really? Over here, all the way down here? B? Oh, so they both want to put it over here.
Because their stagger is really bad.
Yeah. Reaper players around Thaemine G4, they played Reaper until that time. Therefore, they know what they're doing. I think Thaemine G4 is probably the only raid when I say Reaper apply. If their build is proper, or like if their Transcendence or whatever is like all proper, I don't hesitate to deny them at all. Because if you played Reaper until Thaemine G4 chat, do you think they would be bad or good? I would say they would be pretty good. Because all the bad Reapers died at the below, getting denied.
Oh, I got what you're saying.
You see what I mean, right?
Yeah, I just got it.
Yeah, you see what I mean. Well, your Lunar Reaper position is here. Is it better than TTH? What do you think?
Based on the damage, it is still better than TTH.
What about all of these guys?
Based on this, including the stagger, I just
Including
wanted to lower
stagger.
down a bit.
Because this is because of stagger. Don't need to talk too much about Reaper here. I think all the Reaper players are excited right now. I think they should be excited. They should practice actually. If I was a Reaper enjoyer, I would keep practicing to be better. Like your raid knowledge and all these other stuff. Play some hell modes with Reaper so you can be better with the controls. Trying to land counter from the back all the time. Very, very consistent. Then you can carry the team for sure with skills. And they'll really love you. Okay, we have this one. The new class. Souleater. I don't play Souleater enough. I only seen 2 Souleaters. They died. I think it's because of they didn't master the class enough. They need time to master the class.
Knight's Edge should be around the Death Strike. Sharpshooter has a decent damage, pretty good stagger, and pretty good counter.
But do you think it'd be better than these guys here?
It should be lower than the Barrage, but it could be higher than Pinnacle.
Interesting.
To hit Master Class.
소리턴 지우씨가 잘 키우니까 이 의견 따르면 될 듯?
Okay. What about Full
And
Moon?
also, the Full Moon, I want to put it right next to the Pinnacle.
Oh, here?
Higher than Pinnacle, though, yeah.
But what higher than this?
I don't think so. She has a pretty good attack speed with the identity on the Full Moon, the Full Moon build. And also, the abstraction on the damage and the DPS is really good. She actually puts higher damage than Sorceress on DPS.
It's easier to play than Sorceress. It has better mobility than Sorceress. So she's definitely one of the A tier. But we got to think about the Knight's Edge. The mobility on Knight's Edge is just way better than the Full Moon. And the stagger is way better.
Yeah, in terms of the full package, right? I mean, I only play with 2 people, but they died before G5. I don't have enough data. but they were doing pretty good. Let's talk about the Blade. So right after Blade's been like super S, but after just a little bit of tweaking, we're kind of being questionable mark.
S. Higher than Predator.
버스트가?
It actually takes cover all the minus points on the stagger and those kind of stuff. And it has a pretty good stagger. I mean, not pretty good, but okay stagger. She has she's the strongest class at the moment.
Really?
Yes.
시너지도 좋아서.
But are you considering everyone being Snow Patter or everyone being average players?
No, Snow Powder. If it's Snow Powder, it's triple S. But on the average people, it's still S.
우리 세맥도 엄청 잘하는 사람 기준 했잖아요. 얘도 엄청 잘하는 사람 기준 하면은 거기에 맞을 것 같아. 나 나이돌 생각하다 보니까 너무 낮춰버렸다.
So So what Haerang was saying is like around here, and it's because of the difficulty of the class. I play with a bunch of blades too, a G4, G5, and G6, and I don't like any of them. She's like the new Reaper, in my opinion, because I've never seen them do well. And the number one boot, like let's say the raid is like keep resetting, the number one kicked out player is always the blade. I played with Mint's party one time, a static, by the way, static Mint party. The blade was kicked out there because he kept dying. If I was gonna go to like Kazuro's raid, I am not taking blade because I don't think she'll do well. Maybe 2 months later, when everyone's doing Thaemine G4 as homework, of course you would take it. What do you think, Jiudau? Still all top?
I still think that the Surge is still one of the top class, and it's the strongest.
I've never seen Jiudau so confident all day when we're talking about this full list. So we'll just keep it there. What do you think about RE, Jiudau?
RE is... I want to put her right under the Shock Scrapper.
What do you think about this class in general?
She has a good constant damage, constant stagger, and it's like one of the very, very formula. I mean, one of the common class. I mean, very, very ordinary.
Like we just talked about Wind Fury. She has everything.
Yes, but she's much stronger than Wind Fury.
Yeah.
That's my point.
And stronger than any of these classes. Same reason. When most players have both builds, why would you play this when you can play that? What the last topic? DI Shadowhunter and PS Shadowhunter.
일단 충모딩은 뒤바꿔 생각하는 게 맞다고 생각합니다.
오케이, 저도 맞다고 생각합니다.
이까지는 아니지 그래도.
But not worse than I don't think it's I think it's better than Reflex, but not better than Igniter. Do you guys agree?
You know what, man? I play DI is 1620 right now with the 40 elixir. I'm not gonna take her to Thaemine G4 though. She brings everything to the table except damage.
저는 이제 엉모닉을 어떻게 생각하냐면은 이딜 무력화, 카운터 전부 다 황제보다는 좋다고 생각해요.
What do you think, Jiudau?
나눔지님이랑 그 데빌령님이랑 둘 다 되게 잘하시는 분들인데 엉모닉을 둘 다 만나봤을 때
그렇죠.
그 정도 느낌이었어요.
We had PS Shadowhunter in our first clear, yeah. She's too good.
think-
Like she was really good as a player.
I think
무력화 1티어, 카운터 1티어. 일이 좀 약하긴 해 그 대신에. 잔여를 안 뜨고 광도 정도 안
it could
뜨는.
be under the Deathblade.
So we were talking about, so generally now that everything is kind of fit in, now you're kind of comparing it each other, right? Say if you have that as a party mate, if you have PS as a party mate, if you have Shock Scrapper as a party mate, etc.
Okay.
Where would Gunlancer be in this particular thing?
Red Lancer? A. Higher than Emperor, but lower than Master Summoner.
생각보다 세더라고 오로드가.
I think we gotta adjust. The robot should be higher than AT.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe I'm
Yes.
playing really bad.
예? 이 정도급이 되나 근데?
It's because of the utility, right? Because we're counting utility as well. Yeah, he's strong too, actually.
Yeah, if you don't take the loss, yeah, I can actually beat up most of the class, most of the DPS class.
But what do you think
What-
about the other one though, the blue Gunlancer?
The Gunlancer, it should be around C. Lower than Evolutionary. Yeah, that's my thought.
I was thinking about it switching to blue, because it
Oh.
was easier. But after I realized you lose all the movement speed from losing the swiftness, I didn't want to do it anymore.
But you can just tank everything.
With blue, yes, but tanking everything is kind of good, I guess. Like how much value? It's like you bring value to the team as well, and you can do very cool plays with it. But in terms of comfort and how you feel about it running the raid, I just don't think it's like I have to make a decision. I can't say like good things all the time, right?
Yeah.
Red versus blue, I think red is just these days is red. Blue just doesn't bring that much to the table, and then it's too slow. And if you go swiftness with it, you just lose too much. Yeah, let's say you give swiftness, they get a little faster, but it just doesn't bring too much to the table. That's done. So right now, for support, really quickly, it's Bard S and then rest is A. Because Bard is the best support for G4, G5, G6. It's the high ceiling plus Rhapsody plus the Guardian
Guardian's
tune.
Tune.
But the problem is you gotta have a good Bard player. Anything else, Jiudau?
Not really.
Okay.
We got overall.
굳이 바꾼다면 바꿀 수는 있겠는데 굳이 바꿀 필요는 없어 보이는.
If there is a thing that we can add in, you can kind of like move it around just a little bit. But in terms of the big group that most classes are in, there's really not much to change within the thing. Because I asked them, hey, is there anything else to adjust around if you guys think? And then that would be kind of it.
A에 하나도 없는 직업들 여 같은 경우에는 조금씩은 이제 하나라도 좀 올려줘. 다 같이 좀 잘 살면 좋겠다. 뭐 이런 정도.
I think we got all of them. I think those are the class engravings are in the right order. I was always saying that I would make a tier list there. No, I'm not gonna make it on my stream because you know there wasn't enough. I wasn't experienced too much to compare all the classes. Compare each other.
And
So
we
I
needed
wanted to- I just wanted
some more time to play with
I
more
just wanted to
classes for
make more
G4.
experience. Today is like the good time for me too.
That's cool, guys. So that was Jiudau and that was Haerang. The Haerang is my teammate for Thaemine the first clear. And I asked her to join, and I also asked Jiudau to join because I have played with so many classes. Probably I played with all of them for G4, G5, G6 Thaemine, which is the end content for Korea. And this is based off of experiencing many players that we play with. And since just me is lacking information, correct? So I asked Jiudau to come out help. And then someone who does G4, G5, G6 all the time, like every 2 weeks, with a lot of experience to come in to see, you know, they have their teammates, they have their static members. They always tell about their class, and you can kind of compare. You can see the MVP screen. You can see what they deliver. What pugs die a lot, like how I said about blades die a lot in a pug. But all those things, experiences combined, and then you kind of make a tier list based on it and what delivers the full package. And this will be very close for me in terms of, let's say the next raid comes out, like Kazuros raid or something, right? Which class would you be kind of like considering to be on your team, like be on your static team for the race, etc. Right? So that's the purpose of the tier list, and we should end it here. Okay, guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck on the
Thank
raids.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.